All right, let's hear from some people in the audience. We take calls on the Friday show via Discord at davidpakman.com/Discord. We're going to hear from some people now. Remember, nicknames and cutesy things aren't going to get you called on. If you want to get called on, you should have name and location, or location and name, in the format of, for example, Jeff from Minnesota. Jeff from Minnesota is our first caller today. Jeff, welcome to the program. What's on your mind today?
David, thank you for having me. I love your show.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So obviously you're no stranger to kind of the cognitive dissonance that takes place within the Republican Party, specifically within MAGA.
Right.
So I guess my question for you is, how do we kind of break through to that? I'm convinced this is something that's going to take at least like a decade to kind of get past. What do you think?
Well, I think in the best case scenario, it will take 8 to 10 years. I think worst case, it basically becomes the Republican Party indefinitely. I never say forever because nothing's forever, but indefinitely. And I think a lot of it is going to have to do with what happens over the next, 13 months until the election, 15 months until the next inauguration. If Trump wins, into that next Trump term. I don't think there's a clear answer yet as to how much life this movement has in it, but it has absolutely destroyed the Republican Party. And now it is so abundantly clear. 2018 did not go well in the midterms. 2020, Trump lost the general election. 2022 was going to be a red wave, barely took the House and actually fell further behind in the Senate. Now they've ousted their own Republican speaker because of 8 MAGA extremists. I mean, this movement has objectively been a disaster for the Republican Party. I don't know how long it'll last, but I think your instinct that we could be talking about another 10 years is certainly possible.
Of course. And, when you're debating MAGA people, that's an effective tool because you can just make them look like the delusional morons that they are. But when you're talking to someone in real life, someone who you know personally, it gets a little bit harder because if you try to bring up exactly what you brought up, all they think is that you're some part of some like big giant lie, and that just pushes them farther and farther down the rabbit hole.
Without a doubt. It's one of these circumstances where the mechanisms through which we might hope to change people will often only further ingrain them in their beliefs. And so, as we've talked about before, we're basically talking about deprogramming cult members at this point. And this is a difficult thing to do.
Right. You got to hate the cult, love the cultist.
Hate the cult, love the cultist. Yes, I mean, you show empathy to the cultist. You welcome them back to reality if they show any willingness to come back. I agree with that completely, Jeff.
Absolutely. Well, I got to give credit where it's due. I 100% stole that notion from Bill Maher.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I haven't heard him say that, but it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Well, I'm not super on board with the fact that he thinks Biden cannot win the next election, but
it's like, what does that even mean? What does it mean he can't win? There were so many people saying in 2020, Biden can't win. There were Bernie people going, Biden cannot win. Well, of course he can win. Trump could win. Biden can win. What does that even mean? It's a very strange thing to say. He might not win, but that doesn't mean he can't win.
Absolutely.
All right, Jeff, I'm getting all wound up, so I'm going to let you go. Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Jeff from Minnesota. Great to hear from you. Many people know how hard it is to break bad habits, and sometimes you have to replace a bad habit with a better habit. And that is exactly what our sponsor Fume helps you do. Fume is not a vape. I don't advertise vape stuff. There's no nicotine. There's no electronics. Fume is a small cylindrical wooden device that just delivers plant-flavored air. It comes in a variety of flavors that people love: crisp mint, maple pepper, white cranberry. They've got new flavors: sparkling grapefruit, orange vanilla. Importantly, it just gives your hand something to do. It's a device that feels good in your hand or in your pocket. You can take it anywhere. And it satiates that hand-to-mouth fixation that, if you're trying to break a bad habit, can be very useful. It's also fun to fidget with, which is important too. It has an adjustable airflow dial, a magnetic end cap. It gives your fingers something to do even if it's in your pocket. Check out the reviews online. You'll see so many people have been skeptical at first about Fume. They try it and they are very pleasantly surprised. Go to tryfume.com and use the code PACMAN to save 10% when you get the Journey Pack, which comes with the device and several flavors to try. The link is down below.